Hello. Today we'll be playing the newest update of NeveN. This begins chapter 9, and this also begins the final arc of the story, so we're getting close to the end. But anyway, I think this is the third arc, and each chapter contains like 4 chapters, so I guess by the end of this arc we'll be at the end of chapter 12. But anyway, as usual, it starts with Akhet, and what we're going to do here is that last time we had to pick between killing Akhet and sparing Akhet because Kelethon is controlling him, and he's making him cause mayhem throughout the castle and the city. So we're going to go with the choice to spare him, and then afterward we'll see what happens with the choice to kill him. When I stick my head out the window, I can see the gardens. It's strange. From here, it's impossible to guess the horrors that took place 3 days before right here. It's as beautiful and peaceful as I've always known it. Then after a long sigh, I tuck my head inside with a simple, naive thought. I hope I can find the strength to move out there again someday. It all brings me back to Akhet and that thing inside him, that hunter, Kelethon. I refuse to believe that he and the stag are one and the same. That monster has to be someone, something else, and there must be a way to help him, to bring him to his senses. At least I hope so. The knocking on my door snaps me out of my thoughts. Come in is open. I turn to face Vo, who's looking at me with an expression I can't really identify at first. He's both curious and worried, I think. Lord Eric, you wish to see me. Oh, so now we are doing the Lord thing. And it seems to me that after the recent events, you deserve this title. That's what it took to convince you. You behave notably. You behave nobly. You acted in the interest of the kingdom, not your own. These are the qualities of a true lord. That's not the impression I get. You will come to accept it, no doubt. However, I doubt that you asked to see me simply for a matter of nobility. Now, I had a question, and I don't know who else I could ask. Everything that's happened with Kelethon has got me thinking about the plans, the gods, the avatars, about what it all means and why it's happening. And I can't help asking myself the same question over and over again. Vo, are the gods really benevolent? After what they've done to Akhet, the horrors the brand of Kelethon has brought. These deaths, this pain, this suffering. Is this really what a god who means us well would do? Is the brand I bear a gift or a punishment? Vo watches me in silence for a moment before pulling up a chair to sit beside me. His gaze plunged to mine. What a strange person you turn out to be. Most of the time, you seem to be a simple entertainer, living your life without ever thinking about the consequences, without any real reflection. I'm not sure what you're getting at. It's just that you surprise me. Sometimes you're capable of more than I expected. Well, when you take the time to think anyway. We could make a scholar of you in time. I'm not sure I'm interested. I have no doubt about that. But let's get back to your concerns. You're not the first to wonder about the benevolence of the gods. You only have to look at our history to see the horrors that brands can bring. Manipulation, violence, wars, everything is facilitated by the brands, sometimes caused by them. Or so one might conclude. In reality, this is not an accident of the gods. It's not what they want. It's a betrayal of their gifts, a mistake made by Anthracans too absorbed in their own self-importance. Brains are a responsibility, a gift given to us by the gods so that we can grow and become better. In exchange, we have a duty to pay them the respect they are due for all they have created. However, they had the vision to leave us our free will. We are not slaves to the gods, and that means we're prone to mistakes. Mistakes? Is that what you call what just happened? Yes, it's a choice made by someone, not by divine decision. What Akhet did. It wasn't Akhet. We don't know. We could simply be claiming. No, you don't. No, we didn't see him that night. It wasn't him. He wasn't that thing, that monster. Even if you were right, it was still a mortal who decided to pursue this hunt, not a god. A hunt? Is that how you see it? Kelethon's avatar is a perpetrator. What else would you call what happened? The urge to slap him has never been greater. A hunt? As if the dead were mere prey, killed for food. Another about anger would be pointless, but there's a flaw in his reasoning. Maybe the gods don't force us to act, but they do nudge us in a direction, don't they? At least as far as the avatars are concerned. How so? They want us to confront each other. They want to enjoy the sight of a fight and the deaths that follow. That's why our brains grow if we kill another avatar. We don't know if this is true. It could be a lie from Tess for all we know. Why would he lie? To create chaos and reduce your numbers. Or maybe he's just crazy. We don't know anything about him or his goals. But what if he's telling the truth? Wouldn't that prove that the gods aren't benevolent? No, even if this is truly how your brain works, it's only one of many possibilities. A choice that the gods will offer you. A test of your morality. It's the avatar who chooses to kill, not the god. In that case, why? Why such a rule? Why do avatars even exist? And why am I one? I've been asking myself that last question for over a month now. Why choose a bard, a simple rabbit from the countryside? Many people could have done more with your brain. Many would have been more deserving, but you were the one chosen. It's getting a tad insulting. That's not my intention. Watching you, working with you, I've come to realize that things aren't quite that simple. And potentially, I think that's what NeveN saw in you. That's ridiculous. I'm just me. You underestimate yourself. You're capable of more than what you think. Or at least I hope so. If recent events are any indication of what avatars are capable of, we're going to need your help, strange as it may seem. A silence settles in heavy with easy to understand implications. The fight with Kelethon hurt Aeon. He still hasn't come out of his room since. There aren't many people left to defend Phosphine. Tanaka's probably the most powerful among us, and he won't stay here indefinitely. I guess we'll have to start training again to develop that potential. As soon as possible. Your brain is obviously capable of much more than we thought, so you need to be able to use it to the fullest. Not to mention that now that we know you can freeze just one part of the body, I'll finally be able to directly experience the effects of your powers. I too will be able to feel NeveN's influence. The eagerness in his voice gives me the shivers, but we'll see them all. You should enjoy your last day of rest. I guess, yeah, thanks, well, for the discussions. I'll have to think about it. Whatever we may think of each other, I'm first and foremost a priest and a teacher. I'll always have time to answer your questions. He nods briefly before leaving me alone again. So, I take the opportunity to drop onto my bed with a sigh. Those weren't quite the answers I was expecting. Yeah, it's not like I know what I'm supposed to expect. I'm not even sure exactly what questions I have in mind. Just this anger at the gods who got us into this city situation, who chose me to have to go through all this shit, these gods who punished Akhet with no apparent reason. I think back for a moment to Tesla's avatar proposal that we all get together and try to find a way to improve the world with our powers. What a load of crap. Even if we had agreed, the gods can obviously force us to act as they wish, and I refuse to let a monster take control. Maybe Tess was right, after all. Maybe it's all just a soul to them. Well, in that case, screw them. My stomach rumbles, reminding me that I haven't eaten yet and that I told Akhet I'd meet him downstairs once my chat with Vo was over. So I stand up quickly, checking that I don't look too horrible, before heading down to the kitchen. The weight on my stomach lessens as I see the falcon smiling at me as I arrive. Did everything go well? As well as it could go, I suppose. I sit down with a sigh before taking some pastries from the table. Did he answer your questions at least? As much as he could. You know what Vo's like. The gods can't be wrong. They do everything for a reason, blah blah blah. Honestly, what seems to have interested him most was learning that I'll be able to use my brand on him now that we know I can only freeze his arm. Sorry, I know you were hoping for more answers. I don't even know what I was hoping for. To be honest, probably something that would make my life easier. I just wanted to put it all behind me. Forget about it. But with Akhet locked downstairs, that's impossible. I wish I could do more. You're here, and that's all that matters. I smile at him as I lean over to rub my muzzle against his beak, while I hear him sideways with a kind of tenderness in his voice. Hey, little birds. Anyone ever told you you're cute? I look out the door to see Tanak, who has an exhausted expression pointed all over his face. Oh, hello. You look tired. What a charming way to say I'm not exactly at my best. Is everything alright? He glances around before closing the door behind him, turning the key for good measure. The lizard then sits down opposite us, letting out a growl once his bottom is placed on a seat. I've been watching Akhet all night, and I can tell you, it wasn't the most pleasant experience I've ever had. How's he doing? For someone who spends his days in a cell chained to a wall surprisingly well, at least physically. As for the rest, half the time I don't know whether I'm talking to Akhet himself or to Skeleton pretending to be Akhet. And you can only hear an African begging to be put out of his misery so many times before it starts to weigh on my mind. Well, I need mine. Father used to gag at the slaves doing that. It sounds cool to me. It is, but forcing the guards to listen to such requests was unacceptable in his opinion. It wouldn't work anyway. We tried. He broke the gag without any trouble at all. I doubt the chains are really holding him. If he's staying there, it's because he wants to. I don't like it. He's clearly more than just a monster or an animal that hunts and kills. He's planning something. We've defeated him before, so we can do it again, right? If ever he managed to escape, this time we know what he's capable of. A silence follows. I think we all have Aeon in mind to imagine he's in bed and ill for several days. If it comes to that, or if another African shows up, I won't let it happen the same way. I understand my brand better now. This time, if necessary, I won't let others fight my battles. And I won't be alone. I smile at Akhet as I tenderly caress his talons with the tip of my fingers. I doubt it will come to that anyway. The other avatars are far away. If Akhet's watched day and night, even if he tried something, he'd be arrested quickly. For now, I think we're safe, Eric. We can focus on our future and on our work. Lord Lust has asked me to plan a ceremony for all those who died during the attack. To put an end to this deafening silence and allow for mourning. Sounds like an excellent idea. We'll have to come up with a good song, maybe even invent one specifically for the occasion. Are you sure you can? I thought your specialty was body songs. You will learn, my dear, that I am a complete artist and perfectly capable of performing any song in any genre. Well, especially bawdy songs. No way I'm saying that part out loud, though. However, a few knocks on the door interrupt our conversation. Lord Eric, are you there? I was informed you were having lunch. Yes, just a moment. The other two give me a puzzled look, which I can only return. So I open the door to find myself face to face with one of the castle's servants, a dog, who looks almost embarrassed when he comes face to face with me. Can I help you? Lord, there's someone at the castle gates who wishes to see you. I'd rather not see any visitors right now. I pointed it out to him, Lord, but he gave me a message to deliver to you. A message? The young servant closes his eyes for a brief moment before sighing, blushing slightly as he speaks again. He specifically asked me to tell you, and I beg your pardon, my lord, to get his hairy little ass back here and say hello to me. I'll fasten myself and kick his butt for kicking me waiting. The silence that follows is unprecedentedly heavy. I can feel Akhet and Tanak's gaze digging into my back. Another lizard is flashing a huge grin. Is it coming from a wolf with a brand of argon below his eye? Yes, my lord. That's what I thought. Tell him I'll be there in a moment, and thank you. Very well, my lord. The servant bows quickly, no doubt pleased that I'm not punishing him for his language, before scampering off down the corridor. A friend of yours, I presume? Are your acquaintances allowed to use this kind of vocabulary when talking to you? I don't need your comments, Tanak. And yes, he is a friend, Erwin, a member of the band I was traveling with before I came here. For a friend, he seems particularly interested in your backside area. Well, what can I tell you? He knows quality when he sees it. Eric. Oh, you should come with me. I need to introduce you to each other. He's not going to talk about me like that, is he? Well, oh no, he knows how to behave. Don't worry, he's just a thing that we share, him and I. What he's trying to say is that they slept together. That's why he allows that kind of comment. Tanak, you're not helping. I'm not trying to help. After the night I've had, I need to relax as much as possible, and you happen to be extraordinarily entertaining. Were you together? No, it was just for fun. I don't know if that's better or worse. Come on, stop it, you two. Akhet, you're all that matters to me now. I want you to meet one of my friends, that's all. Besides, I'm curious to know why he's here. Come to think of it, that probably means Rayar and the rest of the band are here too. Without further ado, I grabbed the Falcon's talon and pulled him with me, striding briskly towards the castle entrance. I'll show you. You're going to love him. Okay, but no need to run. I grin at him before quickening my pace while I hear his laughter break out behind me. At this pace, it doesn't take us long to reach the entrance, and I can easily see Erwin getting impatient in front of the castle gate, the guards at the entrance watching him out of the corner of their eye. I pause for a moment to catch my breath before assuming my most serious air and voice as I walk towards him. Erwin, the fireman, aren't you ashamed to disturb a member of the court this early in the morning? The wolf raises his head, his gaze boring into mine as a thin smile stretches his lips. What? Now that you live in a beautiful castle, you've forgotten all about your old friends? I'm trying to keep a straight face, but I can't do it. It only takes me a moment to step towards him, a big grin on my face, before grabbing his wrist with one hand as he does the same with mine. I'm happy to see you. Me too, buddy. Do you miss me then? Maybe a little, but here and there. Hello? The wolf raises his head to look behind me, quickly observing Akhet up and down, his eyes stopping briefly on his nails. He then straightens up before speaking again, all warmth gone from his voice. My greetings, Syed. It's an honor to meet you. Oh no, you don't have to. If I don't intervene, we'll be here all day. Cut the crap, will you? Allow me to introduce Akhet, my musician, partner, and companion. I feel like everyone's surprised look is almost insulting. Hey, Acadian, do you have a problem with that? No, sorry, of course not. You don't have to apologize. I insist I judge you without knowing you. If you manage to seduce this idiot and keep him at your side, you must be a good person. I hope he doesn't give you too much trouble. Hey! Nothing insurmountable yet, I assure you. I can't. Both giggle softly, and that's when I realize I've made a mistake. I have kept them as far apart as possible. How do you know he's a Syed anyway? I'm a mercenary, remember? But you only ever talked about the missions you carried out in Phosphane. Well, maybe I haven't told you everything. In view of everyone's insistent look, maybe I shouldn't question him about that. Oh, by the way, are Wagar and the others here? I'd love to see them. No, they're still touring the West. My sadness at this news must be clearly visible because I can feel Akhet's hand tightening on my fingers. I see. What are you doing here then? One of the new members we recruited on the road was very keen to see you, Wagar. Asked me to escort him here. A new member? Wait, you came all this way to bring me a fan? The old man insisted. He said you'd be happy to have a musician to match your talents. No insult intended. Akhet settles for a polite little smile and replied. And where is this musician then? I'd love to meet him, especially if he's supposed to be as good as Eric. He shouldn't be long. He asked for 2 minutes so he could get ready. Am I at least allowed to know his name? Oh yeah, of course. His name is Vic. A voice interrupts coming from behind him, a voice I know all too well. Hey, Bunny, it's been so long. No. It's impossible. It can't be. I don't want to. No. I feel the usual warmth in my back as my brain seems to activate itself. In reflex, I freeze Vigo in front of me, immobilizing him in place. Eric, what's going on? What the fuck? Is this your brand? What are you doing to him? I'm sorry. I can't. I tend to walk back towards the castle. Well, I'm in a strange sort of in between running and walking. Eric, explain what you did to him. Eric! It's alright. He'll be able to move again in a moment. It's just temporary, I promise. I'm ignoring him. I just can't stay here. I got to settle down. Think things through. I'm ignoring them. I just can't stay here. I got to settle down. Think things through. Why is Vigo here? What does he want from me? Is he here to tell what I did to Skarna? To bring up what I tried to forget, to get revenge? I don't know. He looked happy to see me, really happy. I miss his smile. No, what the fuck am I thinking? Calm down, Eric. Take time to settle down. Once in my room, I let myself slide down a wall, pulling my ears over my face. What am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? Eric? Akhet is in the doorway, giving me a worried look. Eric, what's going on? It's him. It's Vigo. I can't see him. You can't leave him like that either, Eric. Your brand's still active. You're going to get hurt if you keep it up. And it's unfair to him to be frozen like that. But if I turn off my brand, I'll see what he would have told me. I don't know if I can. Akhet sits down next to me, resting a talon on my arm. We both know this will happen eventually. You can't keep him frozen forever. I'm here, and I will help you. But you'll have to let him go, and then we'll walk. And then we talk. My back starts burning as I feel my strength leave me. I know he's right, but it's so difficult. I can feel the tears rolling down my cheeks. I have no choice, do I? I take a deep breath before clasping Akhet's talent in my fingers and I stop using my powers. Hey, buddy, it's been so long. That's him. He's facing me, and I don't know how to act. I don't know what to do. Are you happy to see me? I finally found you. I spent so much time worrying and hoping that, fearing that, but now I'm here. We're both here. Eric? Vigo, how did you find me? I heard you were a royal bard. I knew right away it had to be you. Who else would deserve this position? I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Eric, please. No, let me think. Vigo, Eric, what's this all about? Not now, please. I can't. I need to go to my room. Wait, it's been 7 years. There's so much we have to talk about. I don't think this is the time. I'm delighted to have met you, but I think he needs a little space. But we'll be back, Vigo. Obviously, this was a surprise for him. I'm back in my room. This never happened. None of this is real. But it could have been. Vigo's here, and Frostfang. Why was he talking to me like that, as if nothing had happened? Are you okay? I'll manage. That's not what I'm talking about. It was unpleasant. He talked almost as if nothing had happened, as if we were still together. But you did tell me it was over, right? Yes, I swear it was. I don't understand. What happened between you, Eric? I'm not the most experienced at relationships, but I know your reaction wasn't normal. I'm biting my lip. Until now, I've never told anyone in. I'm biting my lip. Until now, I've never told anyone everything. It's too risky. They might just the image they half of me. Akhet strokes my chin and plunges his gaze into mine, waiting for an answer. He deserves to know. If I want us to move forward, he needs to know the worst thing I've done. I've done something really, really horrible, Akhet. I hurt everyone I loved. I'm sure that he pauses before heaving a sigh. No, I can't tell you what I think about it until I know. Tell me, where to start? The last time I saw Vigo and my grandfather, I was 15. We've been together for 2 years. I think everyone's a bit stupid at that age. We promised to get married. We'd even bought rings to symbolize our engagement. It turned out not to be a good idea. Lying in bed until noon with the smell of Grandpa's pastries bursting my nose. There was only one thing missing to make my life perfect, and I'll have it in seconds. I could hear him coming up the stairs. I keep my eyes closed as I hear my bedroom door open, pretending I'm still asleep. Eric, get up. You have to come with me. I stay in bed, pushing this little game to the point of letting out a soft snore. I know you're not asleep. A bad spell cast over me. I'm afraid I can only wake up with a kiss. Really? I think I know what the sound he's making, but I don't know how to make that sound. He lets out a sigh. I do my best to hold back a smile. I feel his weight add to my bed, and his lips land on mine. I can't resist any longer, hugging him tenderly as I kiss him back. Hello there. Hey, sweetheart. I open my eyes to grin as much as I'm able as I hold him close, happy to have him all to myself. You have to let go of me eventually, you know that? I've got to explain something to you. It's important. I can't think of anything more important than what's going on here. I don't need anything more. I have the pleasure of seeing Viggo blush before he looks away. You're unbearable. But that's why you love me. I suppose you're right. He smiles at me before kissing me again. But I'm afraid I was serious, love. You will have to get up. I'm not going to talk about this kind of matter in your bed. It's far too important. Oh, now you have piqued my interest. I guess I'll have to make an effort. Not to mention that grandfather is clearly cooking up something good. It's making me hungry. I release him and help him to his feet before wisely in my turn to take the time to stretch before reaching for my bedside table, catching a wing on it and sliding it onto my finger. I don't understand why you insist on taking it off. You know I get restless when I sleep. I never forgive myself if I lost it somewhere in my sheets. I wink at him playfully before placing one last kiss on his lips. So what did you want to tell me? Downstairs, your grandfather will want to hear it too. It concerns you both. Both of us? Are you planning to move in with us or something? The red quickly rises to Viggo's cheeks. By the gods, I'll never get tired of it. No, it's just that Dad tipped me off to something. I'm sure you'll be interested, that's all. Alright, just stay mysterious. This better be worth it, though. I stuck my tongue out at him and burst out laughing before descending while keeping Viggo's hand in mine. Downstairs, a superb apple pie sits on the table, still warm and steaming, while my grandfather finishes putting away his kitchen equipment. Eric, Viggo, settle down. Thank you, sir. Hi, Grandpa. Viggo apparently has some big news for us and refuses to tell me what it is. Eric, really, Viggo? You keep secrets from us like that after all the time you spent here? No, it's just, you know what he's like. Grandpa and I burst out laughing while I give Viggo a little tap on the shoulder and he blushes even more. By now you should know when you're being messed with. Eric, come on. We've laughed enough. Leave her alone. Come on. I could have gone on for a while. I don't doubt it, and I don't think Viggo does either. I make a face at him as he cuts a piece of pie, set it down in front of me, and I don't wait a moment to start devouring it. Grandfather has always been an excellent cook, and I'm surely not going to resist something he's prepared for me. Sometimes, Viggo, I wonder what you could possibly see in him. Don't talk with your mouth full. Nobody understands you. I just like who he is, sir. And I love you too. My grandfather rolls his eyes before giving Viggo his share as well, which the fox eats considerably more slowly and cleanly than I do. These people don't know what's good. I hope it's good. I've tried a new recipe. It's upper. It's delicious, sir. Thank you, boys. He sits down opposite us, a smile on his face. So, Viggo, what do you want to tell us? Well, my father received a letter this morning. There's a group of bards who've arrived in Vista, and they're looking for apprentices. We could accompany them for a year on the roads and learn all there is to learn from them. In exchange, all they ask is that we be able to manage on our own and help them with the journey. I thought this is a good opportunity. If we get hired, we can start our music career right away. That's an amazing idea. There's no one as good as us for miles around, so we're sure to be chosen if we come down to town. You hear that, Grandpa? I could finally start singing in front of a real audience. I hear that, yes. I paused. There's none of the joy in the sound of his voice that I'm feeling myself. What's the matter, Grandpa? Did I say something wrong? No, my boy. Don't worry. I need to talk to Eric, Vigo, alone, if you don't mind. Is everything alright, Grandpa? You're scaring me a bit. I guess I can leave you to it. See you later. Yeah, I leaned over, placing a kiss on Vigo's cheek while casting a worried glance towards Gramps. What's going on exactly? I didn't do anything wrong for once, so the problem isn't coming from me. Thanks, Vigo, and don't worry, I'm not mad. I just need to talk to my grandson about something. My companion gives me one last look, but concerned and puzzled, and I offer him my best reassuring smile. Not that I'm particularly reassured myself, but I know him. If I show him I'm not at ease, he'll start to panic. Once we're alone, I turn back to grandfather and do everything I can to try and keep my good spirits. This is great news. I'll be able to show everyone that I'm the best singer in First Fang, and I'll make you proud of me. Eric, plus, we'll be able to live together, me and with Vigo. We'll leave you alone for a while, which is a good thing, isn't it? Eric, please. And then on the road, I'll learn a lot of things that will come in handy. And the year isn't that long. We'll be back in no time, and you're not going. No, he can't. Why? It's not fair. Eric, you're not ready for this kind of trip. I can't risk letting you go. What do you mean? I'm not ready. What do you mean I'm not ready? You have no problem letting me do your shopping when you need to. How is this any different? Vista is not far from here, and the road is safe. Not to mention it's absolutely not the same as a capital city. You can't keep me here. You heard Vigo. Do you know how rare an occasion this is? There aren't many traveling bars around, let alone groups looking for apprentices. I've made up my mind. You're too young. You don't even have a brain yet. Vigo's had his for months. It's just a matter of a few days. I'm sure of it. That's not the point. I said no. I don't want to risk anything happening to you on the road. I can't do this. This is my dream. You can't stop me from achieving it when it's right within my grasp. It's not fair. I deserve a try at least. It's not fair. Furious, I stand up, knocking my chair to the floor. Eric, calm down. Let me explain. Explain what? That you really don't give a shit what I want to do, who I want to be? It's not that. It's just that you're too young. You still got time. You just have to wait a little. Fuck you. I turn on my heels and storm out the door. After which the winter chill hits my muzzle as my paws sink into the snow outside. But I don't care. How dare he? He has no right. He can't deny me this opportunity. He has to let me go. Yes, I deserve to go. I want to be the best. I've exercised my voice as much as possible. We spent days and days training with Vigo. Why does he want to understand? Eric, come back here immediately. We haven't finished discussing. No, not until you change your mind. That man, this is not the way to convince me that you're ready to leave. I shouldn't have to convince you. You should agree with me. I keep moving forward in the cold to the edge of the village. The snow-covered trees of the forest surrounding Skarna face me, almost daring me to go and hide among them as I hear grandfather's footsteps behind me. My Mariani, Eric, you'll freeze if you stay out there. Come home. Not until you let me go. Stop acting like a child. No. I turned around to face my grandfather, who's holding his knees, panting out of breath from running after me. It's not even like I'm going to be alone. I'll be in the caravan with guards protecting us. What if you get lost? What if you arrived in a big city and got stranded in the streets? You've never seen anything bigger than Vizsla, Eric, and it's hardly bigger than our little village. I'm not stupid. I can keep up with a group, and Vigor will be with me. I said no, that's enough. You're too young. You don't have a brand, and neither you nor Vigor have any experience on the road. That's not fucking fair. Son, watch your language when you talk to me. Grandfather's face changes immediately as he realizes what he just said. But it's too late. I get it now. That was the point all along then. Rage fills me as I approach him, pointing my finger at his torso and pushing him a little harder with each sentence. Son, eh? So that's all it was? It's just been that asshole's fault all along? Eric, that's not what I meant. I'm not your son. I'm not sure. I'm not your son, and I'm sure not my father. I forbid you to compare me to him. I keep pushing him, pressing on his chest. He has to understand what I'm going through. I'm not that bastard. I'm not going to leave everyone behind. I'm coming back. You hear me? Aaron, don't talk about your father like that. I'll talk about him however I want. If he wanted me to respect him, he should have stayed. My hand suddenly meets the void. Grandfather's torso is gone. What the? As if the world was slowing down around me, I see my grandfather fall backwards. Oh no. What's out? I see him fall staring at me for a brief moment before his head slams against the trunk of a tree, and then the snow falls from the branches, engulfing him almost completely. Is he alright? In a moment he'll get up and push the snow away. Grandpa? Why isn't he getting up? I fall to my knees and start digging through the snow, pushing it aside without paying attention to the cold biting my fingers. Grandpa, answer me, please. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I'll stay here. I promise. Please answer me. I keep digging, plowing away the snow, gradually revealing my grandfather's body. He's not moving. Help! Please, someone! Please, don't leave me alone. Without a more powerful brand of Mariani, I'm afraid there's nothing more I can do. What use are you then? Excuse him, it's nothing. I understand your anger, young man, but his fate is in the hands of the gods now. Thank you. We will pay you as soon as possible. Don't worry about that. First, take care of the grandfather. The priest leaves. At least, I suppose he does. I don't care about him. All I care about is squeezing grandfather's hand in mine. He doesn't move. He won't even squeeze my fingers. Grandpa, wake up, please. No answer. Nothing. You should eat something. You've been here for 3 days now. I can't. If he wakes up, I have to be there. I have to be next to him. Eric, he wouldn't want you to be sick. Vigo, what am I going to do if he doesn't wake up? I got no one else. You could always stay with me. You know my parents are ready to take you in. He slides behind me to hold me close, and I let myself fall against his chest. Thank you for being here. You know I'll always be here for you. The candles shake slightly, forming shadows against the walls, shapeless creatures that move with the wind. Scorna's temple is tiny, but it's all we have. It's all I have. Mariani, great goddess. I know I've never been the most devout, but I'm here today. None of you have chosen me yet. None of you have branded me. So I pray to you, no, I beg you, offer me your brand and make it big enough to save my grandfather. I will dedicate my life and my art to you. I will sing you praises. But for pity's sake, let me help him. Only the silence of the temple answered me, like every other day. I know what I must do. I just don't know if I have the strength to do it. His body lies on the branches and cloths that form the pyre. In the songs they always say the dead look like they are asleep, that they look peaceful at rest. Grandfather only looks dead. A hand rests on my shoulder. I know it's Vigo. I don't even need to turn around. They're waiting for me to light the fire, for me to throw the torch. But I don't want to. That would be admitting that. Eric, I don't want to. I'm not ready. I don't think anyone could be ready for that. But it's the right thing to do. You know that as well as I do. He comes and slips his finger between mine, probably to make the situation easier. Then I turn my gaze back to the grandfather, my eyes blurred by tears. It's my fault. It's all because of me. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I should have been a better grandson. I should have been, if only. I'm sorry. Goodbye. I lowered the torch onto the pyre and quickly the flames envelop his body. My knees give out. I don't even feel the pain of the shock as I watch what's left of my family burn before me. My throat hurts and I suddenly realize I'm screaming. I don't even know when I started. I don't want to stop. I need this. The house is empty. Nothing has moved. Nothing has changed. Nothing is still there. But it's empty. Everything that made it come alive seems to have disappeared with the ashes. The door to his room is closed. I haven't opened it since. I didn't have the heart. Mom told me you could come to our house whenever you wanted. Thank you. I don't know if I think I need a little time. We figure as much. Take all the time you need. We understand. I know he's saying this to help, but I can feel anger rising in me. He understands. They all do. That's what they say every time. What could they possibly understand? But I can't be mad about that. They just want to help me. You know, I often think about that day, the accident. I don't know if this is a good idea. It's not really like I can help it, you know? I think about everything I've done. What I've said, what could have maybe saved them. Eric, it was an accident. You never meant for it to happen. I know that, damn it. I don't need you to remind me. Calm down, Eric. Even if it's not your fault, Eric. Eric, it was an accident. You never meant for it to happen. I know that, damn it. I don't need you to remind me. Calm down, Eric. Even if it's not your fault, Eric. Not my fault. How could it not be my fault? If I hadn't gotten mad at him, if I hadn't pushed him, if I hadn't walked out of the house, if I hadn't insisted on leaving with Vigo, and Vigo, if he never suggested we leave, if he hadn't come that way that day, he hadn't come that day, you know what? You're right. It's not my fault. Eric, and then causes. I didn't make it happen. Eric, calm down. You're scaring me. It's because you suggested we join the band and Vista that all of it happened. We were doing fine before you came along and said that we could have waited until we were ready to leave. Wait until, but no. Eric, what are you talking about? If you hadn't said anything, if you just kept your mouth shut, my grandfather would still be alive. I know you're angry and grieving, but this is unfair. Unfair? You want to talk about unfair? My whole family's dead. I never knew my parents. I don't have anyone, so I'm all alone now. You still got me. We've always been together. Does that mean anything to you? And what did bring me? My grandfather's dead. If it hadn't been for you, he'd still be alive. I wouldn't have to live in this cold, empty house. I wouldn't have to feel this constant pain in my chest. It's all your fault. It's because you came to change my life, to give me this idea of leaving. You don't know what you're saying, Eric. You're just trying to hurt me. We always had the idea of joining a band, the two of us. When we grow up, now, not now, not now, not like this, not at this place. It's not my fault. What was I supposed to do? How could I have known that this was going to happen? Do you really think I wanted him dead? You're not the only one who's lost someone you love, Eric. You're not the only one in pain and mourning. Grandfather, and he died. Get out of here. Get the fuck out. Eric, I hate you. You don't mean what you say. I hate you. I hate it when you do that. You're hurt. You're looking to hurt others in return. I told you to leave now, and don't ever. One swift motion, I removed the ring from my finger, hurling it at Viggo with all my might. I take your fucking ring back. I want nothing more to do with you. Fine. He clutches the ring to his chest as tears stream down his cheeks. If that's what you want, yes. If you ever change your mind, I won't stay with the man responsible for my grandfather's. He sees the shrink in front of me, and my heart sinks, but the image of my grandfather lying on his pyre comes back to me. How am I supposed to put it out of my mind? Okay. He turns around, still in tears, then walks out of my house. Even so, he doesn't slam the door and take the time to close it gently. The moment he disappears from my sight, when I find myself alone again in the gloom of my home, the pain in my chest returns stronger than ever. Viggo? What have I done? Why? Why did I tell him all that? It was nasty. It wasn't fair at all. He looked, his eyes, I hurt him so much. And that's what I wanted. I know. It's not his fault. I knew it. By the gods, what have I done? He'll never want to talk to me again, not after I've told him about this bullshit. I'm already alone, and it's all my fault. I have to leave. I can't stay here. I can't face him. I can't bear to meet his eyes, to feel him so hurt again, and all because of me. I left for Vista. I didn't dare join the band, so I just took a transport to the next town, and the next until I had no money left at all. I ended up on the street where I stayed until Rhaegar found me. Thanks to him, I understood that grandfather's death, even if I was responsible for it, was an accident, something I didn't want to happen. I never told him what happened with Viggo. He doesn't know. I didn't dare because I wanted to hurt him. I wanted him to suffer as much as I was suffering. I didn't want to be the only one to feel that way anymore, and I was ashamed to explain it to Rhaegar. When I stopped talking, Akhet says nothing for a few seconds. I suspect what's on his mind. He'll want to distance himself. He'll say it nicely, but he'll want to leave. Who could blame him? Now that he knows, he can see what I'm capable of. Again, I'm sorry. If you want to leave, I understand. What? No. I jumped, startled by the sound of his voice. It almost sounds angry. I have no intention of leaving. You didn't leave me. You didn't leave when I told you what I'd done. Did you really think I was going to abandon you for that? But you had no choice. That's different. You were young, Eric. You were grieving and you were hurt. What you did was wrong, obviously, but it was understandable. I hurt him, Akhet. I hurt him and haven't the slightest idea of what it did to him. You saw him out there. He acted like I was just gone for a few days. He talked to me like we were together. We were still together. I don't think he's all right. I don't think he is either, but what you just done, that wasn't a solution. I panicked, okay? I didn't know what to do, or in my brain just it activated itself. Even so, I don't know him, but I know you. I'm starting to understand how you work. I know you distract yourself, that you run away from these kinds of problems, but you've seen how it is with Astrid. Your mistakes eventually catch up with you. I know I get it, but what can I do? What can I say to him? No idea. I can't answer that question for you. All I know is that you've made a mistake, one that you can now correct. This is a chance I'd like to have to rectify my own past, so don't waste it. He smiles sadly at me as he approaches to caress my cheek. What did I do to deserve you? You saved my life, that's a good start, don't you think? You're not as horrible as you seem to think you are, Eric. You're just African, like all of us. We make mistakes. It's up to us to learn to correct them and not let them define us. You taught me that, after all. I try to smile in response, but I find it hard to put my heart into it. Vico, he looks so strange, sad, and happy at the same time. What harm have I really done to him? How has he lived these last 7 years? I doubt a simple "I'm sorry" is enough. I don't think that's what he needs to hear. But I also know I can't leave him like this. I'll have to talk to him. I need to see him. He and I need to talk. I can help you, if you like. I'll smile at Akhet, leaning in to rest my forehead against his. No, I have to do this alone. I owe it to him. All right. A silence falls between us as I ponder the situation. Vigo is there, right next door. A few steps away. How could I even talk to him? What could I say to him? How could I tell him about everything that's changed, everything I've become? What relationship could there be between us? My gaze falls on Akhet, and I realize something's wrong. He looks worried. He twists his talons for a moment, opening his beak before closing it again. Akhet, I love you, Eric. I really do, more than I could say. But how do you feel about Vigo? Sometimes when you talk about him, you get this expression. If you talk to him and somehow you manage to make things right between you two, I won't go back to him like that, even if he forgives me, even if everything ends perfectly. I've broken his trust. I've broken our relationship in a way that can't be repaired. And I love you. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I'm yours just as much as you're mine. Nothing can ever change that. I swear it. I leaned over to rub my muzzle against his beak to try to reassure him as much as possible. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's all right. I stayed against my companion for a moment, simply enjoying his presence while thinking about what to do next, about what needs to be done. Whatever I decide, however, I handle the situation. It will be unpleasant. I'll have to leave you, but not for long, I hope. Oh, you have to go already? Lady Simi told me our meeting was important. What does he want with you? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with Rowan. I feel twinges of sadness when I hear that name. Maybe, but if it's important, you shouldn't keep her waiting. Will you be alright? I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself, I promise. I look at him briefly, as much to reassure him as to convince myself that everything would be alright. Come on, don't be late. And you, don't do anything silly. Me, being silly, never. I let out a sneer, hoping to lighten the mood, and it seemed to work, at least a little. My cat gets up and leaves the room, where I rest my head against the wall. Here I am, alone with my thoughts. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but it's probably necessary. Vigo. I don't even know where he is. Probably in one of the town's inns. Erwin should be able to help me with it. Everyone should be able to help me with. Shit, I didn't even think of that. Everyone was there too. He saw what happened, and he'll probably ask Vigo some questions. What's he going to tell him? Is he going to reveal everything? I doubt the wolf will be as understanding as Akhet. If all I get out of this is a scolding in my life, I can count myself lucky. I'm doing it again, aren't I? I'm distracting myself so I don't have to think about the problem. Damn, Akhet's right. It really is my first reaction when I have a worry on my mind. I got to move. I got to do something to distract my mind. Sitting in my room, feeling sorry for myself isn't going to get me anywhere. However, as I approach my door, there's a bang, 3 knocks, brief, almost nervous. This really is my day. One moment, I pass briefly in front of my mirror, trying to hide the tears and the trails they have left in my fur. The result is far from perfect, but it'll do. I don't really have a choice anyway. I let out a deep sigh before opening the door. Facing me stands a fox who must be about my age, with fur almost identical to mine except for the black stripes that surround his head like claws. But rather than explain to me what he's doing here, the fox simply waves at me, smiling without saying anything more. Where is it now? This better be important. Even though foxes rarely wear symbols of status to mark their rank, the way he's standing and the way he's dressed makes me think he must be one of the castle's servants and not a nobleman. But instead of answering me, the fox touches his throat before shaking his head from left to right. Oh, you can't speak? This time he nods, but then I can see he's attracting some shadows cast by a torch in there. And at first I admit I have a movement of recoil. I didn't even notice that he'd activated his brand, even though it's on his head. In fact, it hardly glows at all. But soon the shadows take the form of two little Africans of little Africans, a falcon and a rabbit, who start dancing and singing. I can't help but let out a small laugh with across my arms rested against the doorframe. An admirer, huh? Well, I'm honored. The shadows change shape once more, and they turn into a heart as the fox's smile widens. You know what? I'm going to tell you a little secret. I lean in with my most mysterious air before whispering in his ears as he does the same. Akhet and I are going to be doing a performance soon, so feel free to drop in. I'll find you a front row seat. When he straightens up, the fox nods sharply before stepping back, waving his hand again to say goodbye, and I do the same. As he walks away, the shadow heart turns into a little bird that follows close behind, fluttering around him. I can't help but smile as I observe this poetic little moment. I think I really need this day. To be continued. Hello everyone. We hope you enjoyed this chapter. If you want more information about NeveN, feel free to follow us on Twitter. We also have a Discord allowing you to chat amongst community members. Finally, if you would like to support our project, we also have a Patreon that offers you a series of benefits such as builds 2 weeks in advance, but also unique stories about the characters in NeveN. If you like the VN, please also feel free to rate us on itch.io. It will help us a lot. Once again, a big thanks to all of you, and see you soon. Yeah, my nose kind of running. That's why I kind of heard that. But anyway, hey, so we got to finally meet Viggo. If you've been listening to the story, you know that Viggo is constantly in Eric's mind about what he did, and it haunts him. And we get to know, and we now finally have figured out why Viggo haunts him so much, or whatever he did haunts him. And basically, his father didn't want Eric to go with this band, this music band that Viggo discovered. He wanted both him and Viggo to go with this musical band that travels the countries, and so they can have a good chance of starting their musical career. His grandfather said, "No, you're too young to be in that." Eric got angry. Well, came out this about a decade ago, I think, almost, when they were little kids. Well, teenagers, really. So, anyway, the grandfather told Eric he was too young, and Eric got so angry he lost control of his emotions. And when they went outside to talk about it privately, Eric pushed him down the snow, and the grandfather bonked his head, or hit his head on a tree so hard that it really killed him. It killed him. Well, it didn't kill him right away, but it made him go unconscious to the point where he never recovered. He died, I think, a little later on. So he got very emotional with Viggo, because, and Eric's, in the heat of the moment, him being angry, he blamed Viggo, because if it wasn't for Viggo telling Eric about this ban, he wouldn't have reacted violently against his father. So basically, he blamed Viggo for something that was his fault. And by the time he noticed what he did, he regretted what he did, but it was too late, and he didn't want to talk with Viggo. So perhaps he apologized to Viggo, this whole situation would have been a whole lot different. They might have had a more successful musical career, and maybe they wouldn't have to. Well, he probably might want to go to Fox Fame regardless. It's just the capital regardless. I don't think this would have changed towards him going to Fox Fame, but I don't know. Maybe he might have came to Fox Fame a lot earlier. But if he came to Fox Fame a lot earlier, with him and Viggo being his band, if he talked to Viggo and talked things out, and instead of him avoiding him, they might have had more success in the group, and they would have came to Fox Fame a lot earlier. But again, that really would have meant that he would have never met Akhet. Anyway, I think he really needs to talk with Viggo. Try to at least resolve what's going on, and come to a truce. And obviously Eric is in love with Eric. Eric is in love with Akhet. He loves Akhet now, so he's not going to try to rekindle his relationship with Viggo, because the trust was broken. He broke Viggo's trust, and it's best if he tries again with somebody else. But Viggo seemed very happy to see him. But according to Eric, while he was happy, he also had some kind of sadness to him. Viggo on his face. Anyway, so Eric froze him to death right before he ran into the castle, and Akhet ran after him, and they talked about his past. So Eric obviously we have to go back out there and freeze Viggo. And we also got to see Erwin again. He's he got one big personality. Basically, by the way, he sent that letter to Eric, and the servant had to read out that letter, that profanity-filled letter. So, in some ways, kind of like this update is kind of like a little reunion, and also an update where these people that we've been hearing about throughout the story, we actually get to see them with Viggo and his grandfather. Alright, so this was the part where we played It was the part where we played Eric. Just after he chose to spare Akhet. So I think there should be some difference if we go through the story, which is why I decided to make two separate saves. Make a separate save for when we choose to spare him and when we choose not to spare him. So I'll just leave it with him here. Gotta be a new character here also. I guess I don't know if somebody sent him here to kind of cheer Eric up, or maybe I might have to read that scene again on my own. But he apparently he can't talk, so he had to use signals to communicate with Eric, and Eric was quite friendly with him. He was friendly with him, He's very understanding, him not being able to talk. So I like that. So we're gonna start with a choice where Akhet is killed. It's strange. I would have thought that because death would affect me more than it does, that I would have had trouble getting over it. But it's only been 3 days, and most of the time I hardly think about it. In fact, I'm starting to realize I only think about it when I'm reminded it happened. I'm definitely more interested in what I'm doing now, something that concerns me more directly. My brain, when I observe in the mirror, it is undeniably bigger. The lines run almost up to my shoulders now. I can see them if I turn my head, though. Yeah, this font, this lettering font here is a little confusing to me. Like while I was reading that scene where Eric got angry at his grandfather and then at Vigo, and they had it in all capital letters. It's kind of, I had to sit back for a few moments and figure out what the words were, but it's font is a little difficult to read. But anyway, I mean, it's pretty, but it's a little difficult for me to read. But anyway, I wonder what I can do with it, and I can't wait to see if I'm capable of more control over it, more power. You'll inspire them more. You'll be admired by them even more than before. More and more and more. The silver ones threw me briefly, but I did my best to collect myself. I have the right to hope, after all. I put myself back on before heading out. Akhet is waiting for me downstairs, and I'm starving. In fact, I've had a continual pit in my stomach for some time now. No matter what I eat, I never have enough. Probably as a consequence of having a bigger brain. Anyway, I quickly go downstairs to join my companion in the kitchen. However, when I arrive, I'm surprised to see that he's not alone. Tanak is with him. Why is he here? Akhet is ours. I force a smile as I enter, stepping behind Akhet, ostentatiously placing my hands on his shoulders. Hey, it looks like you two are having breakfast like some old couple. What? No. Your bird's not my type, Western Stewart. Just kidding. Get some sense of humor, please. I sit down next to Akhet, quickly helping myself to several pastries and some more food. Someone looks hungry. Ooh, if you only knew. I'm absolutely starving. It looks like you've recovered well from the situation. Oh yeah, I just prefer not to think about it too much. It's easier and it's not really like there's much I can do about it. I thought you'd be more effective than we are, that's all. Tonight gives me a puzzled look before getting up to close the door, ensuring a form of privacy between us. Me too, to be honest, you killed for Kai and we still haven't talked about it. I know, but what do you want me to do about it? To not spend my days crying in bed? Do you want me to say I'm sorry? It's come to this? I'd rather look to the future, to put this whole thing behind me. Is it really that impossible to understand? Of course not. I'm just worried about. It's alright, I promise. And I suppose looking to the future isn't necessarily a bad idea. Now that an avatar has appeared here, we have to consider the possibility of others trying something as well. Let them come. I'll kill one, I'll kill more if need be. I'm more powerful than I was after all. As silence ensues as Akhet and Tanaka exchange a brief look filled with concern. Do they think I can't see them? They underestimate us. So, getting scary, do I have to worry about you coming for my brand? Don't be ridiculous. I don't feel like fighting anyone, but I will if I must, that's all. I'd rather you didn't. Don't worry, I'll be alright. If it happens again, I'll know how to protect you since you clearly need it. We talked about it. It's not what I know, but I also know it's the best and safest thing to do, okay? Okay. Shit, I shouldn't have said that. He sounds hurt. Sorry, maybe it affected me more than I thought. I didn't mean to get so worked up. It's nothing. We're all on edge. I don't blame you for it. All the more reason to take a good rest after all this commotion. And on our work, Lord Lust has asked me to plan a ceremony for all those who died during the attack, to put an end to this deafening silence and allow for mourning. Sounds like an excellent idea. We'll have to come up with a good song, maybe even invent one specifically for the occasion. Are you sure you can? I thought you specifically was bawdy songs. I thought your specialty was bawdy songs. What right does he have to underestimate my talent? No, I should laugh. It's just a joke. I'll prove him wrong later. Haha. You will learn, my dear, that I am a complete artist and perfectly capable of performing any song in any genre. And I'll prove it to you. I think what I should have done instead of, because before I started recording, I played the update, and so after playing the update and now doing it again by recording, I can't really tell the difference between the dialogue. Pressing the fast forward button, it really helps with determining what dialogue is new, what dialogue is not. So I think it's about the same, really. I think it's about the same, really. I think there's a little difference here at the end, really. And you know the rest, the road, the streets. I'm sorry, Eric. It's a horrible situation to be in. I was just hoping that I don't know, that he wouldn't come, that he'd leave me alone, that maybe we just ignore each other. That's not how people work, I'm afraid. Too bad. It would make things simpler, wouldn't it? Simple, maybe, but it probably wouldn't be right. Sometimes I think simple would be better. Obviously, he doesn't have an answer as useful as usual. Can you let me just can you let me think just a little? I promise I won't do anything silly. I just want to know what I can do. I just want to know what I want to do. Oh, you sure? Yeah. Okay, I got a meeting with Sydney anyway. See you then? Promise. Go away now. I really need a thing. He gives me one last look, obviously worried, and I respond with a smile. Then he finally leaves. Good. I've complained enough. It's time I did something about it. I stand up, face my mirror, looking straight at myself. Wiggles back. What can I do? He didn't look well. There was something strange about him. He's in pain. Yes, and that's not what I want. I don't want him to be in pain. We can help him. Can I? We can put an end to his suffering. We can bring him peace. He will no longer be at risk to Akhet and me. We'll help everyone. Yes, it's the right decision. It's the right decision. You're stronger, more powerful, bigger. We must use your strength. We must ensure your happiness. And that of the people I love. Akhet, our love, our companion, our hope. Our future. Oh, well, that's hope too. Anyway, he's talking like there's several people here. Our hope. It's like somebody's talking to Eric. And then Eric talks about helping Akhet, like it's not just his, it's this other person's too. Like, who this? What do you mean by our? Like, somebody else is talking here also. Like, I raise my hand in front of my face and concentrate on it for a bit. Only yeah. The color of my fur changes. It is alternately dark stripe, scaly. Then my clouds grow and sharper before returning to their normal size. You hunters are a part of you now. We hunters are a part of you now. We serve your dreams. We help. We are you. And I am you. To be continued. So the hunters have gotten in Eric. I don't know if they were always in Eric or if they jumped into Eric as soon as Vakar was killed. But yeah, so this is not good. So they got control of Eric. So when you make the choice to spare Vakar, you go against King Aeon's wishes, and you spare him, but we decide to kill Vakar, then that's not good. That's what the king wants, and Eric does it, but it turns out to be the bad option, because now with Vakar dead, it seems that they might have jumped into Eric. I think they do jump into Eric. It's a new host, I guess. So it seems though Tanakh was concerned about Eric and whether Eric would do harm to him if he would try to defeat Tanakh and take his power. So yeah, that's not good at all. So good thing I did decide to do both options and make separate saves for them, so you get to know what happens when you spare Vakad and what happens when you kill Vakad. So it's not good at all. Yeah, so he still spared Vakad, and you probably wouldn't be going to this right now with the hunter in your mind now. So with Akhet gone, he's gonna be the next. Eric's gonna be the next person to cause chaos. I mean, no, it's not really him doing it, but he's been controlled by the hunter to steer control. To cause control and chaos in the kingdom. So I don't know if it was in Eric all along, and as soon as Vakad was killed, it took more control of Eric, or if this was the same avatar, well, not avatar, but the same entity that was controlling Vakad, and once Vakad was killed, it jumped to Eric, because I think that's what it is. So yeah, so it looks like it's not good at all. So, and he didn't really seem to care all that much about the car being dead. I guess that was more like the hunter controlling him now. I guess it's controlling his emotions also, his personality. Like he doesn't care about Vakad being dead. So and it's using Akhet. It still says that it cares about Akhet, and I think Eric, somewhere deep in there, still cares about Akhet, and this hunter is using Eric's love for Akhet for his own advantage, and that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like is going to happen. Like it's using Akhet, taking advantage of Akhet and Eric's love for him, so it can do his own, motives. So we're gonna have to see what happens, but it's not good with the hunter now in control of Eric. So thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.